Okay, now the next things that you're going to need is a Tyvek envelope, and I cut it to just short of 8.5, just so I knew it wouldn't hang off the edge. And then, you know, that opened this side up, and then I cut along here and opened this side up and opened it up this way. I cut the top of the envelope off because I didn't want that messiness. It wasn't very, very nice. And then this is where it goes together naturally. And then I added a piece because I need it to be at least 33 inches long. And this is a little longer than 33 inches, but I just took a piece of another envelope and added it. It's a piece that I had cut, and it was just the perfect size this way, so I just added it. And I believe I worked it out that it's 83.7 centimeters long. I could be wrong, but I think I worked that out the right way. That the centimeters, I know the inches are probably baffling to you as much as the centimeters are to me. I get it's all in tens, and that makes it easy, but yeah, anyway. Okay, so this is what we needed, 8.5 by 33 long. And before we actually go on to this, I am getting out a piece of paper that is, it's about 110-pound cardstock. And I think the first thing that I'm going to do is glue this onto one side of it. So I am just going to sorry guys. Okay, and I want it to be this way, and I'm just going to lay it down and let's burnish. Okay, and then I'm just gonna cut it off. Just keep it right on the edge of that paper. Keep your scissors so that you're not cutting into this thicker cardstock. And because it's thicker, it is a lot easier to cut this off without cutting into it, because you can definitely feel when your scissors get into that 110-pound cardstock versus this 50. I don't know what this is. It's just that real cheapy. Now this, because it's not cut straight, I'm going to get rid of these pieces. I don't really know that I'm going to be using this again, but you never know. So I am going to keep these larger ones in my keep pile. Okay, so there we go. And did I decide, let's see, did I decide where, oh, here it is. Okay, along the 11th side, I think I can get all of them. We need 3, and I think I can get all of them out of this one piece. If not, I will have to cover part of another piece. I would like to make sure that this is nice and dry. So what these are going to be is the spines, because this is going to close down like a book. So now we're going to get the scoreboard out. Hey guys, I wanted to give you a change in the spines. Now you're going to have 2 spines, smaller spines. They're both the same. And then 1 larger spine. So the 2 smaller spines, I originally had them at 1 inch. They need to be 1 1/4 inch. Because my book is pretty tight. And I think you'll be happier with this. So I'm just interjecting this. You'll follow the rest of the tutorial just like it is. But you're going to give yourself a 1/2 inch or about 1 centimeter. And at the 1/2 inch mark, you're going to make a score line all the way across until you get 1 3/4. So it's only adding 1/4 inch of the score lines, and then another 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter at the end. And this is a total of 5.7 centimeters. Okay, so you need 2 of these. And then this one is the big spine, and I'm adding, because there's a 1/4 inch on the 2 small spines, I have to add a whole 1/2 inch to this one to accommodate. So you're going to start at your 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter. At the 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter, you're going to make your score marks all the way across until you get to 3 inches. And for centimeters, I guess that would have been a good information. 7.6. So, and I'll give you the other one. But all the way over to 7.6 centimeters. And then leave yourself another 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter and cut off. And the total here is 8.6 centimeters. Okay, and let me go back and show and give you this one. So you're going to go to 4.5 centimeters. So from your 1 centimeter, you're going to make your score lines all the way over to 4.5 centimeters. Okay, and then leave yourself 1 centimeter or so after. All right, guys, so this is the change that I would say you would want to make, but follow the rest of the tutorial just like you're doing. Bye, guys. Have fun. Thank you so much for watching and for hopefully participating in making yourself your own little castle or sand castle or dinosaur compound or Jurassic Park or theme park or a fair or a circus. This build can do a lot of different stuff. I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all. Bye. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. And I think I'm going to score on this side. So on the 11th side, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then remember, this is thicker paper, so you want to take your time. Okay, so there's that. Then 1/8 inch, excuse me, till I total 1 inch of 1/8 inch, and then another 1/2. So here's a 1/2 inch, so I want to go to 1 1/2. So I'm going to do every 1/8 inch. And this is, again, this is 110 pound. If you don't have 110 pound, that's okay. The 85 pound will work. If you got 65, I would say double it. Put 2 of the 65s together, or paste, glue a sheet of cardstock to it or something that's going to give you a little bit more of a because these are going to be basically stand-alone hinges, so you need them to have enough body to them to support however it is that you're, whether you've got the park standing up or the book closed. Okay, so a 1/2 inch till you get a total of 1 inches of 1/8 inch lines, and then you're going to score at the 1/2 inch mark again. So at 1 1/2 you score, and then you score everywhere, every line until you get to 1 1/2, and then you score at 2, and that is actually your cut line. Then we're going to start the next one because we need 2 of these. So now we're going to score at 2 1/2, which is starting our next hinge, and then we go 1/8 of an inch all the way until 3 1/2. Oops, jumped right out of track. That's what, oh, come on. Why won't you go? Let's see. Let me try it up, coming up from this direction. No, what did I do? I guess I got things crooked. Here's the 1/2 inch mark. This is where I screwed up. There's the 1/2 inch mark. And then go up. There we go. Okay. It is hard with this thicker paper. And I am going down them twice, because you do want them to go all the way through. Holding this paper and pushing, it's a lot of work. Good upper body strength, ladies. All right, we are almost there. Oh, darn it. There we go. And one more time. And another one. And then there's one more that we have to do, and it's going to be 2 inches of eighth of an inch strips. So holy Toledo. All right. So we went from 2 1/2 to 3 1/2 every 1/8 inch. Now we're going to do a score line at 4, and that is actually our cut line for our second. So this is our first spine, this is our second spine, and now we're going to start our third. So we're going to go to 4 1/2, and then we're going to do every 1/8 of an inch to 6 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 'Ooh, we're having fun now. What these 1/8 of an inch marks do is make it a naturally rounded spine. And since the spine is having absolutely nothing in it, that's why we're, I'm not actually attaching anything to these spines except for the 4 walls that we have. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm almost there. My arm is burning. I'm sorry, that jumped. Now we're not having to fold all these. Thank goodness. Oh, come on. See, I'm getting really tired. And then I'm just going to mark a little bit down at 7.5 because that's where I want to cut. And that's, oh my goodness. That was definitely some work. Okay, so I'm going to cut at my 2 marks here and then this little mark, and then we will go from there. And I did get the scoring all the way through. My cutter got a little moved around over here. All right, let me find my lines. There's that one. See, that is some thick paper. And I will keep that with my other paper that I will possibly use. And then there's the 2-inch one. And the 2 1-inch ones. Okay. Now, let's get these are our walls. And this is going to be too long to really show you all the way across. But the first, this will be this will be actually inside, and this one is your top. This piece right here will be your top. And now my question to myself is, okay, I am going to, not that glue. Whoops. Let me put that glue away. I am going to take some score tape and put kind of in the center of the 1/2-inch marks on both sides. This is just going to be some extra holding power because this is going to be doing a pretty important job holding our castle or Jurassic Park-esque type place. I don't know if I keep saying Jurassic Park. Is that like stealing something or something? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not advertising it as a Jurassic Park doodaddy thing. I just can't think of any other way to explain it. It's a dinosaur home. A dinosaur amusement park. So, okay, so we've got those. Let's burnish these down now. You know what? I could turn more lights on. Everybody's in bed. There we go. Okay, what do I have? Oh, wow. I only have a little less than an hour left on my card, so I better get scooting here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our first piece. I've got a little over the edge. My fingers are so full of oh, I do want to put a little bit of glue. There we go. Just a little bit of glue. And that went a little too far over. And I want it up to that first score mark, but not over. And make sure you've got it straight, top and bottom. So it's nice and even. Let's see. This is the one that I had so much problems with. I think I can put it on there just a little bit more. Okay. There. Now let's burnish that down. Get that score tape on there. Holding fast. Isn't that just cool? Okay. And then this, well, I'm not going to do it right at the moment because it's not dry yet. And I'm liable to just pull it right off. So, let's go on to the next one. See, it pulled nastiness off my fingers. Let's get a little bit of glue. I'm not putting the glue on the tape. I'm putting it right next to the tape. Okay. And again, we're going to put it right up to the first score mark. Let me flip this over and burnish. Okay, now we're going to let that dry. Now we're going to put the large one on. Okay, and it's a lot easier going this direction because I'm not fighting my own light. Just putting it right up to that score mark. Flip it over. Ain't it nice? Now these are all going to get covered, so not to worry. You're not thinking, oh, but you've got all those edges. All those edges, they're ugly. Okay, a little bit of glue. And your next piece, you know what? If I turn it this way, I won't be fighting my own light. See, and that doesn't look straight. But it is. Alright, there's that. And then this other 1-inch one. Now, it actually altogether is 2 inches because it's got the 1/2 inch on each side and then 1 inch worth of 1/8 of an inch scoring lines. So it is a total of 2 inches. And the other one is a total of 3 inches. This one. Okay. Let's see how this looks. I don't know why there's quite a bit of that still wanting to stand up. I think it's just the thick paper makes it look that way. And then last one. And then I'll show you how this is going to look. So exciting. So exciting. and glue. All right. All right. So now this one is probably dry. So we're just going to slowly fold it over. And then we're going to slowly fold it over. And I do see a few, but this is all going to be this is all going to be covered up. But, you know, you hate to have a spot where your paper isn't staying down. And if it's not staying down and something else is glued onto it, you're liable to have it all fall all over the place. I'm not real sure I'm happy with doing this part yet, but let me hold this up and you can see. Okay. So, you'll have that part like that, and then this part in this way as well. And that will be our piece, and then it'll open up, and once I can bend this one, it will make like a little compound. So that, I just want to give that just a little bit longer. So, you know, it will make like a square, kind of a skewed square. But with these ridges in there, everything's going to be just peachy keen. Now, if you feel like you want to, this is what this was for. To glue down all the way. But after looking at this, I'm thinking I'm not going to do that. This is fine. It's 110-pound weight. It's a good weight. This is chipboard. It's going to be fine. So I actually think I'm not going to use the Tyvek. But that my plan was to use the Tyvek all the way across and then to cover these. But then I'd have to do, you know, it wouldn't have the lines in it, but it would be glued to it. And I wasn't sure how that would help it to do its flexing and things that I was going to need it to flex. So now let's try this. Just bend that over, and I see just a little spot in some of the paper where I zigged and needed to zag. But again, all of that's getting covered up. And then they're going to come together like this. And after we start getting, you know, all of our pages and stuff in there, they will fill out and hold each other just fine. But that's going to be cool, isn't it? And you see that it will do this. And that will be your compound. And then the spires. So now, these spires, I have my oh my gosh. Guess what I did? It was supposed to be not the 8.5 sides together. It was supposed to be the 6.5 sides together. But I'll just have to change it because now my spires are the same height as my book. And they are supposed to stick up. So now I'm going to have to come across something that can continue this down. Dag burn. Oh well, it's fine. We'll figure out something. I'm going to go off camera and figure it out. But yes, I originally had planned to not put it this way, to use these short sides and put them together. But I mean, seeing it this way, I think I'm going to be much happier with my pages, because this is 6.5, and so I can do all kinds of things with it this way. I could the other way too, but this will be fine. This will probably even be better than the way I was going to do it. I have to rethink, what am I going to do with my spires? I think I might build up a little ledge all the way across here. You know, just on the walls, not across the spines, but build up a little thing that the spires will sit on. So it'll look like you've got a big concrete wall up to a certain point, and then the spires will go up from there. Okay, I shall return. Hey, all right. So I put these boards on, so they go all the way around, you know, obviously not on the binding. And I thought they were pretty cute. Kind of made it look like it was a grating, so like you could maybe see in, and then these are solids. And now we're going to think about the closure. Now, had I thought about this when I was having you cover these things, I would have said, hey, put your magnets on, 2 of them, and, you know, let's, you know, so that you can close this thing. This is how it's going to close right here. So the 2 spires that are on this end here are going to be where your closure is. So you're either going to put magnets, you could tie it closed, or you could just leave it to its own weight to stay closed. Whatever suits your fancy, because it's not going to be you know, it's going to be, this is pretty substantial feeling already. So, getting these spires on are just going to help the integrity of this thing anyway. So, having said that, I am using these little, puppies. They're for, you get them on your handbags, clothing, you know, notebooks, just stuff like that. So I got these off of Amazon, and I made little circles where I wanted them. I took my 2 pieces. Where is my other one? Where's my other one? Right here. So I've got my 2 pieces. This one actually comes over here. And I made little circles, made them match, made the little circles, and then I'm just using my Big Daddy, the 1/8 of an inch, and pretty much cutting a 1.5 holes is doing it. So just inside the about an 1/8 of an inch inside the edge of the line in the circle that you made, if you're doing this. And I don't think that's quite wide enough. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, and then I just put the 1 tail in the hole I just made, and then I just kind of mark it with my finger and put a pencil mark so I know where to put, how far to put the second place to slide that edge down in there. There we go. And then you slide it in, And you want to try and really push that chipboard down around. There's a little kind of pointed knob to get it down into the chipboard a little bit. And then you put on this little washer. Push again. And then I'm just going to fold down. Push and fold down. Okay. So there we go. There's our two. Yay! And then we're just going to make sure that we're still close, because we have to be right on with this, or it will be. So this one's going to have to come up just a little ways. Let's see. Right. Okay. Right there. So let's see how well I can do this. Just about 1/8 of an inch in. Okay. Where'd it go? Here's one. It's probably hooked. There. Yep, it's hooked. Magnets. All right. And I'm just putting the tail end start in there to see where I want this other hole to be cut. And I'm lining this up. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. I do believe we're going to be a-okay. Get my stuff out of my way. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, and I got my little sound recording device things. Now, before I latch this on, I'm going to make sure, oh, and you see I am too high. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to go a bit lower on both sides so I can just slide it down. So I did about 1/2 a hole, so let's see where we're at now. Okay, now let's try it. Okay, so I went the wrong way. I'm gonna have a nice little set of holes in here. I went the wrong way. Okay. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I'm going to be ready for some short sleeve weather here fairly soon. All right, let's see where we're at now. All right, I want to bring it. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out a different way of doing this, because I got the height, but now I need to bring it over a little bit more. So I'm going to have to make some holes on this one a little bit further out. So I'm just going to give it like 1/2 a hole in there. And let's try it out. It's still on here. One more. Well, guys, it's just a trial and error at this point. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing this because I'm making a mess. And I'm going to go with that. I think it looks very good right there. I'm going to leave this on. Push that down. Put one of these washers on here, which will help with all the holes I just made. Oh, come on. Push and bend. And bend. So there we go. There's our first one. Yay! Looking good. Okay, so as you can see, that's what I'm going to do. And then we can go ahead and get all these little hole punches out of the way. Okay. Flip this around and I'll show you just what I'm going to do. So I made 2 different ones for this very first opening. Okay. If yours are the same or different, it doesn't matter. Whatever floats your boat. I just didn't have enough papers to make them all look this way. So I decided there were 2 of them I wasn't going to be able to do this way. So I decided I'd go ahead and just make them different at the opening of the castle or whatever you want. And I'm going to take my score tape off, my score tape backing, and I'm going to lay it down this way, and I'm going to make a mark with my pencil just below where the top edge is, and that's where my glue is going to start. And I'm going to put it just like I did with the other one, all the way around the edge, and then where there's not score tape. All right. And then I'm going to just butt it up against this piece and line it up against the edge of the book. And there we go. And give it a good burnish. Make sure you're getting that glue moved around in there, especially up here at the top, because that's the only thing holding the very, very top, because I didn't put any score tape up there. Okay, and so then just do that all the way down until we'll have our whole thing. And then when it's all standing, it's going to look pretty darn cool, because all of these will be in there. You know, they'll all be sitting around having some fun. Yeah, I think that'll be cute. And I probably will add something to them, but there we go. All right, guys, let's get it done and then start the fun stuff. This is pretty cool, pretty quick going through. And again, you can change this to be anything you want. If you've got a little girl, if you got a boy and he's not into dinosaurs and he's into cars, you can make it look like a garage. You can make it look like a sandcastle, princess. You could even make it look like a cabin out in the woods, you know. So have fun with it. It all depends on the papers that you use. You can make it look like a brick house, you know. She's a brick house. Okay, I'm showing my age. Sorry. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Give me some thumbs up if you like it. Bye. Okay, guys. I knew there was a better way of doing it, and I figured it out when I was doing this one. So you put your two sides in. Then you take and put a piece of glue, drop of glue on each one of these, and then put them together. And it will put the drop of glue exactly where the center of this one needs to be, and then you can make your holes according to where your prongs need to be. Oh my gosh, I mean, super easy. So then I'm going to put one of these down, attach this one to this one, and then attach, while it is attached to that, attach it to this. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I have enough time because my camera is just about full. So let me see if I can get this. Come on. All right, let me see if I can get this one on and show you what I'm talking about before my camera gets full. And then I have to reload you. Do the same thing. Put it down here. And pencil mark just below so you know where to stop gluing. Can I see my pencil marks? Yes, I can. All the way around. I've got to clean my tip. And I'm going to put glue on the metal pieces as well. Everywhere there's not tape. All right. So we're going to put this one down. Line it up. And lay it down. There we go. And again, burnish. Oh, and I did go around and erase on the other one. On this one I did not. I erased my pencil marks. This one I still have to erase my pencil marks. But when I did that with putting the glue dot on there to tell me where it is, I went, oh, you dummy. That would have been the best way of doing it. So just put 2 on one side and then do your glue dots and figure out where the 2 on the other side go. You might still have to finicky around with them a little bit, but probably not too bad. All right. Then we're going to connect those in. There we go. Close this up. And let's make sure we're got our edges even and our little spires. Okay. So first, let's go ahead and get the score tape backing off of this. A little snippet is not going to make that much difference, but since I have it, I might as well have it. You know what I mean? All right, one more. Well, one more before the last one. Come on, come off of there. Okay. All right, and glue. All the way around, and I can see where this is going to be, so I don't need to make my mark. And I suppose you could do that too. And then everywhere there's not score tape, all right. Okay. So, I'm going to grab my spires. And I'm going to lay this way. I'm going to grab my spires and make sure I've got those straight. And I need to get this underneath. And we got it. Don't move. Don't move. Oh, see, now that is not, dang it. It's not on the edge right, though. I think I moved it, but I'm not sure. I think I moved it. We'll have to see. And this being such thin paper, I did tear it a little bit, but let me see before that is. Yeah, that's going to work. And it's going to line the spires up beautifully. Okay, so let me just get this pushed down. Why, that glue is still wet. All right. Now I'm just going to let those suckers dry before I do anything else. Put a little weight on it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thumbs up, babies. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Guys, I am sorry. Doing all of this and you couldn't even hear me. Okay, so these are inch stripped pieces of paper, and you saw me do the whole inch and then just strip them as they are. These cards were 3 inches, so I cut them each into inch strips. I shorted myself on the top one, so I just did it this way, and it's fine. If I want to put a little something up here, I probably will just leave it, or I might put a little piece of ribbon or a strip of paper, something. And when you're putting them together, you need to be aware that you need to have left-hand side hinges and right-hand side hinges. Okay, this is my top, my middle, and my bottom. I have 2 left hand and 1 right hand. So I need to make sure that I only have 1 more top that is on a right hand hinge, because I can't do all 3 the same. So all 3 tops cannot be a right or a left hinge. They need to be a mix. And since there's 3, you're going to have 2 of one and 1 of the other. So that's the biggest thing when you're pulling these together, to do that. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to cut myself 1 inch. And this is from the cardstock that I'm actually building the paper to. And then I need to cut this into 1/2 inch strips. So let me just prep it here, make sure it was nice and straight. And then I just want little 1/2 inch strips. And probably 3 or 4 of them is enough. There's 4. I will leave that in my cutter in case I need more, and I am going to ink these up. And as you saw, I inked up both the brown strips that I glued the pictures to. I inked those up as well as the pictures. And of course, that is totally your choice. If the white doesn't bother you, and sometimes the white doesn't bother me, and really in this build, I could have just as easy left the white, because sometimes it's an accent, sometimes it's not. I think I got them all. Okay, and then I've got my little strip, my little piece here that I'm going to go ahead and build on. So I need a bottom. I've got these all miscombobulated now. So there's that one, there's that one, and there's that one. Okay, so I want to start with a bottom right. And you could start with a bottom left. I'm just right-handed, so that's just the easiest for me. And boy, that part didn't get inked up at all. Okay, and then we're just going to glue down the hinge, and I'm going to match it right up to a corner. Line it up with that. Again, I don't know how I'm going to insert this, so I might make them pockets. And you know what? I am going to go ahead on this one, and I'm going to put myself a 1/2 inch strip. So I'm going to have a hinge. And then I should have enough once I build this. I might have enough. Okay, so there we go. Now, where'd I put it? Let's re-glue this. I don't know that this paper can take too many pickups. Okay, now we're going to get this right along the edge on both the bottom and the sides. Okay, burnish that down. And then the middle part, we are going to, oh shoot, you know what? I am like an idiot. And I'm not going to even be able to use that. Let me see, I think I can just glue one of these on. Yeah, I think I'll just Well, actually, there's going to be more glued on top of it. So you're going to glue them this way. Open. So the hinge flap is open, not closed. Whew, I tell you. It's hard to find good help these days, people. All right. So we're going to open the hinge up. Now, the score line needs to go just past and try and line up the pictures. And make sure you're straight, but you're not right on top, or it's going to be too hard for him to move. So you want to leave like a 1/16 of an inch in between. Or when he's flipping them and flapping them, they're just going to open. Oh, and then I moved that. There we go. Yeah, you want a little bit of room left there, and then this is the top of this one. Now, I do not have to put all of them at the same point. So that one I'm going to leave, and I'm going to take the top of this one, since I now have a top and a bottom, and I'm going to glue this one down. This is where we're going to make it a little more interesting for him. And again, leave yourself some space, but line the cards up. I'm sorry if my head's in the way. I just got to see what I'm doing here. Trying to make sure I've got it straight. All right. So there we go. And now, let's go with another bottom. So this is another bottom. And now that I have all three of them, I can just keep building. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little place marker. And this is just to kind of lift it up a little bit. And I'm going to drop it right down where I've got the two hinges. So I'm just going to drop that right down there. And what it's going to do is it's going to lift this hinge up a little bit. Now you want to, again, line the cards up. There we go. There's that. Okay, this is a top. This is a top, this is a middle, and a bottom. Okay, so now I'm going to take, and I'm going to do the same thing with another one of these little placeholders. And then I'm going to lay it right down in this space where I'm going to be putting this flap. And it's just going to give it a little bit of height so that it will lay comfortably down. And of course they're going to get flipped and flopped and moved around, but that's okay. But at least for the beginning, when they get it, oh, isn't that cute? See, it made a picture. Okay, so there's that one. As long as you keep the cards lit up here. Let's see, this is a top, again, a placeholder. It just helps to keep those where they're going to work better. I don't know, this paper does not absorb. This is, it's like a linen paper, and this glue just doesn't seem to grab nearly as fast on this as normal. So I don't know, this paper is just like not sucking it up. The glue just dries on the top of it, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just making an observation. Okay, so there's that one. And then this one is going to be sitting directly on it. This is my last upper. so I don't need a placeholder. Okay. And now I'm going to flip this one back. When you do flip them back, just make sure that you've got it, that it's dried and that you're not pulling it out of kilter. And I'm going to put this one here. And since I'm placing it right on top of this one, I'm going to be fine. And I also want to make sure I'm going to cut a little bit of this brown off on this side, because I want to make sure that it's going to fit under. That's another thing you have to kind of watch. That's why it was really important for you to move these. See that one? I didn't put that one close enough, and I had to cut the brown off the other end. It's no biggie though. I mean, you just put your ink on it, and it just makes, it just hides it. So there we go. So I have those, I have this, and I need to glue on top of this one, and I don't have one to glue on top of that one. Huh. Alrighty. Well, you be that way. You just be that way. And this one, I think I'm going to put a placeholder here. And I probably should have put one there. It just helps them to sit down a little bit better. So just as you're going, you make the decision whether you want these little placeholders in here. It just gives it that little boost so that maybe it'll lay down flatter. There we go. And I'm going to have to cut myself another placeholder and put it over this. Or I'll cut a little piece of black paper. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just cut myself a this brown paper. All right. So there's that. Let me get an inch. And I'm just going to cut myself a smidge off of there. And I'm going to cut it right here. And let's see. I guess I'm just going to cut it. I mean, kind of eyeball it. Let me have my, there we go. Okay, ink it, and that's just going to cover where I ripped that paper up, so it'll look prettier. Okay, see, no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. Can't tell the difference. And there you go. And then this is, you know, halfway ready for a pocket, and I could just score right there and just have a very small other side, or I can just cut it and add a folded hinge. You know, take one of these and fold them and put it under. Okay, so I have both of those done. Those are cute. Let's see, where else was I? I made a base page. This is for number 2. And I'm cutting them individually just in case. There's separate sizes. Little bit of housekeeping here. Sorry, I've gotten pretty messy. Oh, and I had one here that I didn't use. Darn it. Well, I'll come up with something else for that. I'll probably just use this. In fact, where's the one that needs the little, looky there. How cute is that going to be? And this is not the same size. So let's mark it so it's the same size, and mark it so, okay. So let's see, let me go ahead and cut what I need here. And then I'm just going to, where's my other mark?